Whit Henry. I'm the founding editor of Ploughshares. As a graduate student at Harvard, I had been at the Writers' Workshop at the University of Iowa, and I just started a novel. And my apartment was down the street from an Irish pub called the Plough and the Stars. And they advertised that they wanted to do a broadsheet, I think in 1969. And I left part of my novel there, and I didn't hear anything for a year later when I went in and spoke to the bartender, a very charismatic man called Peter O'Malley. And he said, "Oh, the broadsheet, come with me." And we went down into the basement of the Plough and the Stars, and indeed there was this box full of manuscripts, old manuscripts, and nothing had ever happened. They'd either gotten too many or too few or something like that. So he said, "Why don't we start a magazine?" In college, I had edited the literary magazine for 3 years, so I thought I knew something about it. And I was teaching writing at Harvard at the time as a teaching fellow, so I said, okay. We met in Peter O'Malley's apartment and in my apartment, a group of us, and we had put up a shingle saying we're going to do a magazine. And all these writers started, sending in manuscripts. We never thought very much beyond the fact that there was great writing around, and that at least for 20-something people, that seemed to be a well-kept secret. And when we shared writing with each other and so forth, we discovered mutual regard, even though the kinds of writing that we were doing was very different from one another. Part of the issue was, or the question was, okay, you're going to do a magazine, who's going to edit the magazine? And because of this kind of cooperative spirit of people wanting to all chip in and make it happen, and being different kinds of writers, we had the idea of a revolving editorship. I was the director, like I would be of a symphony or something, and I did the first issue. And then the idea was that another person on the round table would take the second issue, and that they didn't like the things in my issue, then they would fight for things that would be in their issue. And there would be a kind of conversation going on between people with different aesthetics, different acquaintances, different backgrounds. So there'd be a kind of exciting diversity in the mix. For the first perhaps 20 years of putting out Ploughshares, and I want to emphasize again, there was no money. And from day to day, I never intended to be there, for the next one or the next one. Everyone was the last one, But the last ones kept on going on because it was urgent. It was something that was believed into existence by many talented people. They rallied to the idea, and their trust was energizing. It also insisted on a standard that every new issue had to be worthy of the last one. In 1988, the deal was negotiated, that it was acquired by Emerson. Don Lee ran it for nearly 15 years, got incredible grant support from outside of Emerson, doubled the circulation, started to computerize everything, and continued to bring in guest editors from outside the New England area. So he kind of should be credited with making the magazine more cosmopolitan. 4, maybe 5 years ago, he left. He's now running the writing department at Temple University. He's a professor. So I see Ploughshares in terms of generations. There was the founding generation, which lasted, maybe for 18 to 20 years. There was the inheriting generation with Don, where there is this affiliation with Emerson, and it is a function of Emerson. And that goes on for another 12 years. And now we've got Lidette Randolph, who's been magnificent. So that the idea of the magazine, the energy of the magazine, and the motive has not changed. It's been inherited. It's made sense from one literary situation to another.